Raynaud's. If you struggle with this condition, you are probably dealing with some form of hot or cold in the hands, might be both sides, might be unilateral, and kind of painful surges up and down of hots and colds, redness. Not a fun condition. Restriction of the blood flow is typically what's happening with an autoimmune basis. So that sensation that you're getting, or the blue tinge, not fun. And people that have it can typically have bilateral or one side. It just kind of depends. And then you go through these spasms. Sometimes you might experience this, vasospasms in your environment. Depending on what you're in, you all of a sudden have a surge of cold or warm, and it really throws you off. And so this rewarming process that you go through, especially if you go through cold, can really cause a lot of muscle pain. So if you have primary Raynaud's in your fingers or in your toes, I'm going to give you right now, looking at my notes, 7 steps, remedies to heal a problem of Raynaud's. Here, number 1, eliminate arterial blood vessel constricting drugs. So if the blood vessels are already narrowed, you're already getting poor blood supply. This would apply for any blood restriction condition. You want to avoid the drugs that cause and make those worse. Top of the list, beta blockers. Nasty little things. Constricting blood flow, oftentimes given to those with heart conditions, you usually need more blood flow. Craziness. A lot of harm done from those medications. Beta blockers. Estrogen. So if you're on an estrogen drug, that also goes for birth control. A lot of women taking birth control, milder menstruation, you're restricting blood flow. That's going to affect the whole body. Makes Raynaud's worse. Migraine medications. You're altering the blood flow in your head to try to remedy the migraine, but you might be making the Raynaud's worse. As well as cold medicines. Restricting blood vessels, cough syrups, things of that nature. So those medications decrease if you can, or discontinue or avoid if dealing with Raynaud's syndrome. Number 2, inflammation. With autoimmune origins, for the constriction of the blood flow, we've got to look at inflammation in the body. This is going to make it worse. That means anything that goes in your mouth is either going to add to that fire or make it worse. Everything. So from an inflammation standpoint, we've got to have an anti-inflammatory approach. That can be found really simply in the Make Food Simple book. Boom, that one right there. You grab that book, it's gonna break down anti-inflammatory foods, nutrition of how to eat, what to avoid, the toxins to get out. I think it's a great approach, the first half of it, to understanding nutrition that would really help and benefit Raynaud's. In the back, the beautiful Mrs. Living Good created recipes that could be low carb, anti-inflammatory, or vegetarian friendly. So it can kind of meet all the needs. It shows how to make the recipes in whatever way you need to. Inflammation's gotta go down. It leads to number 3, autoimmune condition. If you have layers of autoimmune conditions, Raynaud's itself is one. But if you're also dealing with, Hashimoto's, or you're dealing with a gut health issue, maybe it's ulcerative colitis or a Crohn's, or you have a lupus, fibromyalgia, these autoimmune-based conditions, you're gonna make that Raynaud's condition even worse. And all of those things, 50 million Americans dealing with one of those, point to the health of the gut. The microbiome of the gut, the friendly bacteria and viruses, yes, and yeast that live in your gut that actually help you along. That environment has to be addressed. And I believe the only way to address it is to systematically reset the whole gut environment. We call that a gut reset. There's an advanced version that requires detoxification first to get microbes, metals, toxic stuff out of the system, and then go to work on resetting the gut and allowing the liver, the small intestine, the large intestine, the kidneys function at a higher level. So if you are struggling with Raynaud's, I would highly recommend going through that process in a basic or advanced gut reset. That's all found in our Living Good Daily Lifestyle members area. Number 4, stress makes Raynaud's worse. It's going to cause more blood constriction. So we've got to get stress under control. Sleep, I think, is a perfect place to begin that journey. Breathing is the next important way to decrease and help your stress levels out. Then you could look at some friendly herbs like ashwagandha or rhodiola. All of those broken down in the Living Good Daily book that you can check out as well. You can grab one of those for free. Number 5, temperature. The colder you get, the more blood constriction you have. So you might live in an area of the world that is naturally colder, especially during the winter months. So I'd highly recommend saunas. I would recommend steam showers. I would recommend anything that's going to raise heat on a daily basis. Exercise, of course, we're going to talk about that side of things, because increasing that blood flow just create your own heat. So if you do live in a cold area. So I think point number one there was with heat and temperature is that if you can live in a warmer area, you're going to do better, or synthetically create that through saunas and steam showers. Then create your own movement is going to stoke the fires, heat things up, improve blood flow. So exercise is a must. My favorite for Raynaud's is rebounding, pumps the fluid through the whole body. And if you can get your arms involved while jumping on a small trampoline, that would be a really good one. Any kind of exercise that was going to get that temperature raised. Number 6, electrolytes. The fluid in your body and how it moves. Your potassium to sodium balance is oftentimes altered with a condition like this. We don't get enough healthy electrolytes, aka salt, sea salt specifically. So using sea salt on your foods and then getting electrolytes in, and then using amino acids like taurine and D-ribose to support the extra potassium through green leafy vegetables, or potassium in general, helps to balance out sodium in the blood flow of the body. So electrolytes must go in. My favorite is Energize. It is my healthy version of Gatorade. It does not have any bad sugars in it. It contains a full dose of vitamin C instead of food colorings, right? And it has all the electrolytes, potassium, sea salt, taurine, D-ribose, and energy and focus enhancers already in it. No caffeine. So that's my favorite. Number 7, for blood vessel health with Raynaud's, B vitamins. B vitamins are going to help the nerves specifically that help to stimulate, fire, constrict, expand, contract the vessels. When those sheaths and those wires wear down over time with hard use, using our hands, using our feet, then we've got to restore those. This is very common in neuropathy, by taking a good B vitamin. Now I put mine into my collagen protein plus multi, has a multi in it, or you could also take the Living Good Daily multi with high amounts of B vitamins in the methylated form. That means your body does not have to do the work to convert it, because some people, 30%, some studies say up to 30%, have problems converting their B vitamins so they can use them. It's not what you take, it's what you can use. So B vitamins going in, helping the nerve supply that goes to the vessels and the arteries to stimulate more blood flow. 7 ways that you can tackle Raynaud's syndrome. If you're dealing with this, some good steps, and it's not a fun condition, and it can be very difficult and unpredictable and hard to track and trace. But I believe taking these, and if you chart it, you might see less incidences or even break free from it altogether. If you need help with it, you can grab the Living Good Daily book. I think it's a great resource to get you started on the lifestyle that's going to help you get to the cause of it. And by clicking the link, you can get one for free.